Well, what do we got going on over here?
Hey, Damon, what's going on?
Well, I just thought I'd stop by. I heard you were in the shop.
I am that. Very much so.
Well, so what are you up to?
Well, I'm attempting to install the right rear caliper, rotor, and half shaft on the Humvee.
Well, but this is Jeep Talk.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't until you walked up with the camera.
Okay, so I guess for now it's going to be Humvee Talk.
No, it could be Jeep Talk because there was the World War II Jeep, then there was the M38, the M38A1, the M151, the M151A1, the M151A2, and then the Humvee. So it's in the lineage.
I see. So what are you doing exactly? Tell me about, I see some parts and some bolts and
Yep.
you, so I know something's afoot. What's going on?
Well, this was a complete restoration, ground up, so this frame was stripped out, had nothing in it. So I've got my brand new differential installed already, and I'm going to take my brand new brake caliper and rotor, and that's going to go right up here on the flange. Now the Humvee has inboard brakes, it's not out on the wheels, so I get to sit in the middle instead of out there at the edges. And then once the rotor is in, I've got, if I can grab it, a dandy little half shaft that goes down to the wheel where the gearbox is on the axle end, and then that gives us the extra gear reduction, and it's a portal, so it makes the wheel lower and the frame higher so you get more ground clearance. And then finally, if that's not enough, I have a brand spanking new brake caliper to go on that new rotor, and some new brake pads to fill it up with.
Well, it sounds like it's everything you wanted to know about a Humvee, but we're afraid to ask.
Or weren't interested in asking, but yeah.
All right, well, we're going to see what you're going to do with all this stuff here, and I'll step back for a minute and let you get started, and we'll check in just a second or two and see what's going on.
Okay. So the first thing I got to do is install the half shaft, and it's going to go into the hub on the spline side, and I've already got grease on it and around where the seal will sit on it, that way to protect it so it doesn't get torn when I slide it in there. So it kind of gets weeded in this little confusing space down here. It slides through, and this is a weird angle to do this. And then it engages a gear in here, so I'm turning it and trying to get the spacing to match the hub. And I think, got it. I'm going to try it from another angle. As big as this thing is, there's not a lot of room to work. Yeah, there it goes. Starting to anyway. This is easier if the wheels are off the ground. There we go. Guess I just gotta wag it a little bit. There she goes. All the way in. I'm gonna rest it right there. Whew. Now these are the bolts for the half shafts that go into the rotor. And these are kind of cool because they have what they call a Nordlock washer, and they separate it. They have teeth on both sides. There's actually two washers here. And if you look at them, separate them, they have teeth inside. So when they go together, the teeth lock on each other and keeps it from backing up. Okay, so I've got the half shaft in halfway, and now I need to get the brake rotor and put that up onto the differential, and then I can bolt the two up. So I'll grab my brake rotor. There it is. Now if you see, it's got 3 pairs of holes, and that has to line up exactly down here on this flange. And if it doesn't, nothing's going to bolt together. So I am trying to line this up with those holes. There we go. Now, this is where it's no fun. Yeah. So I'm going to rotate this back. And try to get. And what I'm doing is I'm turning this other flange on the other side, which, if I don't get it blocked up too much, rotates this other side that I'm working on. And helps me line it up. Pretty close. Alright. I'm going to try a different hole. Okay. I'm gonna need another tool here. I don't have it. I'll be back after these messages.
All right, well, I'm back to see how you've done.
Well, it was a struggle and a fight, but I won.
Did you? So tell me about what you did.
Well, I got the rotor placed up. I don't know if you can see this. I got the rotor up on the flange, got it aligned, and it turned out we needed to help ourselves out by jacking the truck up so I could turn the tire, and then also we took a paint pen and marked on the flange and the rotor where it was aligned so that we could see that when we were putting the bolts on. And once that was there, it took about 6 hands, but wrestled the half shaft up until I got one bolt started, and then kind of rocked it and rolled it and turned it around until I could get a second one and a third one and so forth. And eventually, as it rolled around, I got it to line up and everything seated on the flange, and it all went together.
All right, well, it sounds like you have worked out a system to get it all done.
Yeah, hopefully. I only have one more to do, so chances are I'll forget next time I have to do this, and I'll have to learn it all over again.
Okay, well, is there any final words or advice to anybody else that might be wanting to do this job?
I'd say just don't forget your Loctite. Make sure everything's torqued to spec. These bolts go down to 48 foot-pounds, and make sure you do that and double check them. And can't stress Loctite enough. These trucks rattle themselves apart like crazy, so every bolt needs to be Loctited if at all possible.
Okay, well, as we said at the beginning, it's not a Jeep, but you know, it's good training to learn how to tackle any obstacle that comes your way, and it looks like you took care of it this time. So
yep.
We're anxious to see what's coming up next on this vehicle, as well as our usual Jeep Talk stuff.
So am I.
So in the meantime, thank you for the look.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming by.
And we will be back soon enough to see what other crazy things we get into.